Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, words to my brethren all around the world watching this video. Hope you're doing okay today. And let's talk about some big news that I missed while I wasn't making videos. Man, Canelo Alvarez getting his money up, getting his guap up, signs the richest deal in sports history. 11 fights for 5 years, $365 million with Dazn. And oh my lord, what a deal. For those of you who don't know, Canelo Alvarez has signed a big deal with Dazn for 11 fights, biggest contract in sports history, which eclipses baseball player and you know, the beloved on my side, because for those of you know, I'm a big Marlins fan. Giancarlo Stanton, he got a 13-year, $325 million deal from the Marlins back in 2014. Canelo bigger money than Stanton, so shout out to Canelo. But this to me, a couple things I wanted to say about this. This creates a massive power shift in boxing. Okay, this is creating a massive power shift in boxing. Let me explain to you why. Because boxing, and I'm gonna quote someone who I admire from afar. I never really talked to him, never met him, but I admire him from afar. I'm gonna quote the great Steve Kim, writer for BoxingScene.com. He always said that boxing is a business dressed up as a sport, right? And I've always taken those words to heart. And with Canelo, it's like he's the biggest outside of Anthony Joshua in the UK. He is the biggest pay-per-view star in all of boxing. Okay, he is the biggest pay-per-view star in all of boxing. So when you look at Dazn as a whole, it's this new streaming service, you know, $10.90 or $9.99. You know, you get all this boxing content, and I just got it recently, so I am a Dazn subscriber. So, you know, shout out, thank you Eddie Hearn, thank you Dazn. But it's a great platform from what I've seen so far, and adding Canelo to it just massively shifts the power on boxing, because like you already have the biggest heavyweight name there is right now in terms of a draw in Anthony Joshua. He has all the belts. He is the guy heavyweight. Then you have the guy in Canelo at middleweight right now, because he got the belt from Golovkin. So you have the guy at heavyweight, the guy at middleweight, the two biggest draws in America and the UK. That's not a bad way to start off with the Dazn platform. So I think now, you know, fighters who are looking to fight these guys, they're going to look to Dazn, Eddie Hearn, Golden Boy, you know, and try to broker these deals with them. And that's a massive power move from the fine folks of Dazn and Eddie Hearn. So that's that, man. What I will say is this, you know, and I was going to do a separate video about this, but I guess I'll just talk about it in this video. On the flip side, you know, while it's good for Dazn, while it's good for Eddie Hearn, while it's good for them, and you know, they can get potential fighters like they can make potential fights down the road with the likes of Demetrius Andrade, Daniel Jacobs, you know, guys like that. The one question we have to ask ourselves is, and this is the question I've asked, is, you know, is the Canelo deal with Dazn the richest contract in all of sports? Is it sending the wrong message to fighters, and particularly younger fighters, with this deal? Because it wasn't that long ago that Canelo got suspended for clenbuterol, and now he's being rewarded with the biggest deal in sports history. So we have to ask ourselves, like, and I asked myself this: is it sending the right message to the younger fighters? And I don't think it is. That's my personal opinion. But I've learned to accept that, you know, boxing, like life, is very corrupt, and you know, it is what it is, man. Like, but in a way, you know, it's good. It's good. It's good for boxing, I think, because, you know, the great Kanye West said, you know, no one man should have all that power. And, you know, in boxing, I kind of believe the same thing as far as platforms. Like, no platform should have one power. So I think it's healthy in boxing to still have your show times, to still have your top rank on ESPN. I think there's a place for that. I think competition in boxing is healthy, because boxing is so, as far as, you know, there's so many fighters, so many weight classes. So I think competition amongst all these top promoters breeds, it's better for the fans. And I think as a fan, that's what you want. But I think it's great that Dazn has taken some massive steps in a very short amount of time to become a leader in the sport of boxing in a lot of ways. Because I feel like, you know, with HBO and boxing for a long time, in terms of presentation, in terms of understanding the 21st century of how sports is promoted, I feel like boxing's been lacking in a lot of ways, and I feel like with the way DAZN just now that I've actually sat through a whole card and watched the whole card, because I had a chance to watch that Demetrius Andrade card recently. Um, they're doing a lot of great things over there on DAZN. They're providing content for their subscribers. They're giving value for money. They are, you know, allowing fans to see the whole entire card, not just 2 fights, not just 3 fights, but the whole card, like the same way the UFC does it. That's why, when there's big UFC pay-per-views, all these bars get flooded with people who want to go see these UFC cards, because you get a chance to actually watch these fighters in the preliminary bouts, and the fans can grow a personal connection and relationship. And that's what creates fans. And I think that's where boxing's been lacking for so long. And Eddie Hearn is understanding that, and that's what he's doing with DAZN. So just a big move for DAZN. My thing is this, though. Canelo is fighting his first fight on the DAZN platform. Will in fact be taking place in Madison Square Garden, so it's going to be a first for Canelo. He'll be fighting for the first time in New York City, and he'll be fighting a former Caleb Smith victim in Rocky Fielding. Okay, so interestingly enough, Canelo is going to be fighting at 168 against Rocky Fielding, a guy that's only loss has come to the hands of Caleb Smith. And Rocky Fielding, for those who've been following boxing, is a domestic level fighter from the UK. He's gotten some good wins. He's beaten the likes of, he's beating like solid top 20 type of guys, top 30 type of guys. Your Brian Veras of the world, your Tyron Zugis of the world. But, nobody too special, but like a couple fringe names. Luke Blackledge is another fringe contender, domestic level fighter in the UK. So he's a decent fighter. And, he comes into this fight with an advantage of being significantly taller than Canelo. When you see them stand next to each other, he's significantly taller than Canelo. So he's going to have some sort of reach advantage against Canelo. But make no mistake about it, Canelo is the favorite. Canelo is the naturally stronger fighter. And he should go in there and he should do the business against a guy like Rocky Fielding and look sensational doing it. But it raises questions with Canelo. We've seen him do this before. We saw him before he fought Golovkin. He created his own weight class at 155. He fought the likes of Liam Smith. So he can go up and come down when it's convenient for him. So, now that he's at 168, he's opening up this door for the likes of, Caleb Smith has called him out. And I'll be doing a video on that soon too. But Caleb Smith has called him out, and he wants that fight because he's fighting a Caleb, no disrespect, he's fighting a Caleb Smith leftover, a guy in Rocky Fielding who got literally thoroughly outclassed and destroyed by Caleb Smith. So a lot of these guys are going to want to fight Canelo. He's the money guy, but when you put $365 million behind a fighter, you best believe Eddie Hearn, DAZN, well, not Eddie Hearn, because Eddie Hearn's not the promoter, but like DAZN and the powers that be and Oscar De La Hoya, they're going to do their best to move Canelo in a very smart and tactful way. So don't expect to see him in there immediately with the likes of Demetrius Andrade or a third Golovkin fight, because that's not what this is about. This is about maximizing his revenue and making him the biggest star they can. So you got to understand that. And maybe, and this is what we can only hope for as boxing fans, maybe there will be a Canelo opponent in time that has the commercial viability and the boxing ability to make a big fight happen that the fans want to see, where he can actually lose and build some intrigue. So we'll see what happens, man. But just wanted to get my take on this Canelo DAZN deal, because it's been a big thing. It's created a power shift. I do think it is, in a way, sending a bad message to a lot of younger fighters that you can cheat, get caught, get a slap on the wrist, win a big fight, and then get rewarded with a big contract. But, I like to always think that, life has a way of evening itself out. So we'll see what happens, man. But let me know what you guys think. I want to hear what you guys think. What do you make of the big deal that Canelo has signed with DAZN for 11 years? Well, not 11 years. 5 years, 11 fights. And, let me know what you think in the comments down below. One last thing I want to add before I get off this video is it is also worth noting that Canelo is getting bigger as you get older. You tend to get bigger. So it'll be interesting to see if he fills it at 168 or if he goes even higher than 168. Because 11 fights, my thing is, where are they going to find opponents? We'll see. They had the money to pay opponents, but I'm just interested to see what weight he fights at and where this ultimately winds up taking him towards the end of the 11 fights. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Take the time to subscribe. Let me know any videos you may, any topics, news, whatever that I missed out on that you might want to see me make, and I'll get around to it as I read your comments. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every gosh darn video, you can love me or you can hate me. but I'm just a kid from being it. So until next time, take care, guys. We'll sound it out. So God bless.